Howdy, my name's DJ Walker. I'm an instructor with the National Cave Rescue Commission, and we're going to focus on Munter hitches and trying to prepare you for your entry test when you come to one of our seminars. The first thing I want to talk through is tying the Munter hitch. There's a couple of varieties out there. I'm going to move through these quickly. Feel free to pause and rewind the video as you see fit. So the first one is tying it in the air. One method is to make a loop and then take the rope back over the top of itself, and you'll clip the carabiner in those two loops. Another way to do that in the air is if you're familiar with a clove hitch, where you've got a rope on either side here. You would normally cross those to make a clove hitch. You can close it as if it were a book. Again, clip the two ropes with your carabiner, and again you end up with a Munter hitch. So those are two variations for how to tie a Munter hitch off of the carabiner. I'll show one variety of tying a Munter hitch on a carabiner. That's where you clip a bight of rope on the carabiner. You take the rope over the top of itself and then back into the carabiner, and that gives you a Munter. And you just want to rock it back and forth a couple times, making sure that you see the Munter operate to ensure that it's tied properly. So the next thing I want to do is talk through operating the Munter in a lowering system. So when you're lowering with a Munter hitch, you will have tension on the rope and you need to control that. As with any descent control device, you want to maintain 100% control of this brake strand the entire time. So whether this were a rack, a stop, a Petzl ID, a CMC clutch, any of those different descent control devices, you've got to maintain control of this brake hand. No different with a Munter hitch. The specific technique that we like to teach when operating a Munter during a lower is to bring the ropes parallel with each other and take a hand that encompasses both ropes. And then you've got a brake hand here that can manage the slack as it's coming into your hand that encompasses both ropes. And to lower, you're just going to release your hand ever so slightly, allowing the tension to be pulled through the Munter hitch. When you do it in this method, the rope goes directly into the Munter and immediately back out. One complaint you hear a bunch about a Munter hitch is that it creates twist in the rope. But when you do this ropes parallel hand encompassing technique with it going straight in and straight out, it drastically reduces the rope twist in the rope. And so this is our preferred method for lowering with a Munter hitch, is you're going to have your hand encompassing both ropes as they are parallel. Anytime you need to stop, you just apply tension with your hand and the Munter hitch stops. All right, next is tying off the Munter hitch, and we're going to tie this off under load. And so again, I want to maintain control of the two ropes. I really like to come up here and grab a hold of the hitch, which seizes it and makes it nice and secure. And then I want to do a half hitch followed by an overhand. An interesting technique to make that half hitch happen is to make the rope look like a 4. You may be able to see that 4 there, and then you're going to pass the rope through the 4 and cinch it back down. Once you cinch that down, it's essentially hands-free. It's going to hold the load no problem. But we do have a concern that this strand of rope could pull this slipped half hitch through. And so to give it extra security, I'm going to follow that up with an overhand. Again, I want that overhand snugged right up against that half hitch so there's no opportunity for slippage there. So that's how you tie it off. Half hitch followed by an overhand. Now untying it. I untie the half hitch first, or correction, the overhand first. Once I get that tied, again, it will stay on its own. It will hold the load here. I'm going to grab the brake strand and I'm going to slowly start pulling that slipped half hitch through. As soon as that bight gets close, I'm going to get here and I'm going to, with two hands, pull that through until it pops. When it pops, you now have control of the load with two hands on this brake rope. If I'm going to continue lower, I can ropes parallel, hand encompassing in again, and lower down. So that's how you untie the Munter hitch when it's tied off with a half hitch and an overhand. The last element that I want to cover is operating the Munter hitch during a raise. In that position, or in that operation, there's a separate system that's hauling the load up, and or I'm potentially an untensioned belay, in which case the rope is slack, and what I need to do is keep the rope as tension as I can between me and the load during that operation. And so I want to keep a snug rope between me and the load. So the way I'm going to do that, there's two techniques that we teach in NCRC to do that. One is a hand pass and the other one is a hand slide. I'll do the hand pass first. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab rope from behind me, pull tension against the load. And with my other hand, I'm going to have the brake strand, and I'm going to pull that towards me. And so I'm going to push pull, and that's going to allow rope to slide through the device, or through the Munter hitch. My hands have now passed. A key here when I get ready to take another grab is that I want to get a full grip of rope here. I don't want onesies and twosies fingers. I want a full grip of rope, so I've got full control over that brake strand, which will allow me to let go here, reach up to grab another bite, reach back to grab another bite, push pull again. Hands pass, full grip, reach up, reach back, push pull, hands pass, full grip, reach up, reach back, hands pass. And so you're just going to continue that process to keep snug rope between you and the load. I'm going to pass a little bit of rope through here so that we can prepare for the second option. All right, the second option is where we do a hand slide. And in this technique, our hands do not pass. So what I'm going to do here again, I'm going to reach back. I've got a hand forward. I'm going to bring them together, but I will not let my hands pass. When I get to this point, I'm going to grab the back of the rope with a grip. I'm going to slide this hand forward, maintaining a full grip the entire time. And then I'll reach back again. Push, pull. Hands don't pass. I grab, slide. Push, pull, grab, slide. Push, pull, grab, slide. And I continue that process all the way up until we call a stop or the load is up on top of the deck. So those are the different things that you will have to demonstrate during your entry checkoffs for with the Munter hitch if you come to one of our NCRC seminars.